this idea of the president accompanying rally attendees to the Capitol on the 6th?
Well, this was at the 6th. This was during the after he finished his remarks.
Carol, talk to us about Luna, what he might specifically provide prosecutors.
You know, in many ways, he's not as important as Mark Meadows because Mark is on the president's shoulder for such a large period of time in every meeting, and Nick Luna is not. But also, Nick Luna's role is important because he's almost like a body man in some respects, close by to the president, and also coordinating to some degree and conferring with the Secret Service about the president's movements. The Secret Service had heard about Donald Trump's plan to march to the Capitol weeks before, at least a week and a half, 2 weeks before the actual event, and they thought it was nuts and hoped that they could, if not talk him out of it, hope that he would forget about it. And of course, he did not forget about it and kept pushing it with Meadows, which is what Luna heard about. And the Secret Service not only thought it was unsafe, but for the president, but they thought it could be a real problem since they were going to be taking the president up to a location where the vice president at that moment was also basically under attack himself and had fled to a subterranean basement parking lot with his Secret Service detail for his own safety, for his own life.
Jim, we're but humble television producers, and we're pulling all these clips from the hearings to remind ourselves, remind our viewers what has already been said, what is on record. If you are prosecutors, you are going back through that testimony in advance of having the opportunity to, in many cases, sit down once again with some of these aides, but be able to ask them a series of questions that they can no longer deflect on. What is the preparation? What is the planning that goes into sitting down with these folks?
So it's complicated, right? Because as David was saying before, there are so many different strands to it. But really, at the end of the day, the question is simple. Did Donald Trump say to any of his aides that he knew the people were going to go in, the rioters were going to go in? Because we don't know, for example, was anyone recording any of the conversations? People were scared. There was a lot of nervousness. Everyone knew this was turning out badly. It appeared, based on very strong circumstantial evidence, to be a conspiracy, including the president, to breach the Capitol. So what those prosecutors are really looking for is that last bit of evidence, the direct evidence that he knew before January 6th, that if Pence didn't stop the certification, that those rioters were going to go into the Capitol. They find that direct piece, it's game over.